So today we're going to be installing the rotating assembly onto my SR20. I stroked it. I got a HKS stroker kit. So it's a stroker kit, I think makes it go from an 86 mil to 92 millimeter stroke, if I recall. Correct me if I'm wrong. And does make the pistons go from an 86 millimeter piston to a 87 millimeter piston, and that combined makes it a 2.2 liter. And today I'm going to install the main bearings. Finally, I'm going to install the connecting rod bearings, and I also got to do plastic gauge to see if it's it's grade B or grade C for the connecting rods, that is. Don't know what size it is, but I'll find out with plastic gauge. And got all my specs right over here. This is the specs I got from HKS, and I am using Tomei bearings. And for the upper end, I'm also using all Tomei. Besides in the belt springs, so I'll get into that in a later video. For the this is just all the specs though. Torque specs for both the connecting rod caps and the girdle, which I got the girdle. Got ARP studs for both the head and the main caps. And yeah, we'll get into it. I did measure everything the proper way with proper tools, but that's why I don't have any other variations in the main bearings. That's why I only got one set, because I know what set is right. I am going to plastic gauge my connecting rod bearings because I was not 100% sure if I got those right. I wasn't fully confident, but so I'm just going to double check. Never hurts. A lot of people suggest to do it. Here's the pistons. Pistons are pretty nice. Forgetting what materials they used on both, but I already got I already got the piston and the connecting rod made it together with the pin. I already got the piston rings on, all of them. Got the main caps. Just going OEM main caps. I was thinking about going billet, but decided not to. My official measurements are all right here, along with another paper from HKS. That's for the crankshaft, pretty sure. Yeah, it is. I just had to read it. It took me a minute. But so this is my bearing clearances. I have it on a separate paper, but this is my clearance paper I did it on, which was the lab. I do go to school for all this, so hopefully we get it right. And yeah, I'll get back to it. And all this is gonna go into this car right here. Hopefully gonna turn out well. Right now it's just my seat time car. It gets beat on majorly, but it will be good. All right then. First step's gonna be clean. I gotta clean all these because in storage while I have this engine stored, I had fogging oil on it so it wouldn't rust at all. And so I gotta clean all the bearing surfaces with brake clean and a rag. And after that, I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna be putting the bearings on. I'm gonna put the crankshaft on. Then I gotta put the pistons in with the plastic gauge and whatnot. And gotta torque everything down to spec. And I'll get back to that. All right, my next step is the bearings. Like I said, went with Tomei competition bearings. Hopefully they work out pretty well. That's the part number. That's for the mains. And then for the con rods, I got grade B. There's a part number if you need. And grade C. There's the part number. I actually didn't know this until I was part shopping. They use the same bearings on RBs and SRs. RB26s and RB25s, that is. I thought that was interesting. I went with grade, I think it was grade B, right? Yeah, grade B. So standard 2 in America, I think. But it's in the block, if you didn't know, on SRs, has the sizes labeled from what they were factory on what the block of the mains are. Right here, has it listed right here. And I got I got 5 twos. 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. And so got kind of lucky, a little simple. But I did verify it with a to make sure there wasn't any out of round or anything in these themselves. So I did use a micrometer and a dial bore gauge to make sure everything was right. I did that with everything in the motor. Partially did it because it was school and also spending a lot of money on this. So when you're doing a 2.2 liter on a SR20, to my understanding, the main things you gotta do is there was a big bump like this one right here. And you can see I obviously shaved it down. Used a Dremel roll, and then I went over with sandpaper to get any of the, I forget what they're called, stress risers out. So any like sharp angles, because that could be a weak point. But you can see when I originally dry fitted the crank in here that I wouldn't be able to turn, it would bump into this. And then I'm pretty sure there's one other thing you gotta clearance, but it's in the future. It's on the oil pan. It's a little girdle. Pretty sure, according to this paper right here. I think it's on this one. Warnings. Yeah, so you gotta grind these two. Like I cut it off a little bit, and you can see right there is the part that I cut. Right there. So that's the main thing I did to the block. I did also get sleeves, HKS sleeves. The stock ones are really thin, it looks like, so I didn't want to even risk it with the fact that I'm boring it out. I think the maximum you were able to bore it out safely, they said, was to 86.5 millimeters bore, and you could do 87, but I didn't believe that, so I just got sleeves. That's just what I read on the forum, so that could have totally been wrong, but I got sleeves to be safe. I think the sleeves were like $500. It will definitely be worth it. I did get the block decked with the oil pump too. I'm pretty sure you got to deck them together. Other than that, that's the only things done to the block. I did do a crack detection test. So that's what this red is. It's not a big deal. Will come right off. I mean, sort of can come right off. A little bit of wiping down. I did sandblast. I went a little crazy with sandblasting. I sandblasted everything. Obviously, I taped off any ports and whatnot. But I did indeed sandblast everything. There's like one spot not sandblasted. I think it's like right under there, but it's just a little secret. But other than that, that's all I did to the block itself. Yeah, see, that's the only part I did not sandblast, but it all looked like that basically. So I like the way it looks a lot better this way. It's worth my time, kinda. It is pretty therapeutic. I suggest doing it. And so next step's gonna be getting the bearings. I got all the bearings right over here. All right, we're on to installing the main bearings finally. So these are the main bearings, what they look like. They are tri-metal, if I recall, that's what it's called. Uses 3 different metals. A lot of people, or not a lot of people, it's kind of a controversial subject, but I've heard that using automatic transmission fluid underneath, so you're not supposed to put anything underneath here, but I've heard using automatic transmission fluid could be beneficial. Could be. It's still like a new theory that I've heard about, or I think it's a theory. I don't remember, honestly. There's a lot of tests going on about it, but the theory is that it spreads all of the remaining like little pieces that you can't even see in there. It like spreads it out, and it has all the, since it's ATF, has all these additives that make it like clean it in a way. Anyways, when you're installing bearings, you just put that slide pin in right there and push down. Simple as that. Now repeat this process 10 times. All right, got all of the main for the block. Now I gotta put these ones on. I got all the main for the block. Gotta put these ones on, and same thing. These ones just don't have the oiling holes, so just gotta go through all of them. Make sure there's nothing there. Right now, just see that little red piece. Don't want it in there. Look all good to me. Oh, that was covered. Oh. Yeah, all good. All right, same process, 10 times. 5 times now. 5 times left. Good. Anyways, got these all down. Next step is taking the behemoth out of that bag. Let's see. Let's see here. This might be the best way of going about it one-handed. Oh, no, this is really hard one-handed. Okay, I see. Oh, it's a boy. It's a boy. So, here's what Tomei says the bearings are. They say it's for the connecting rods. They say it's standard size 1. Oh, wait, no. Sorry, that's not what it's used for. Forget what I just said. That's completely wrong. That's saying what size it is, if I recall it. If I go into that list or this list, those numbers correlate to what size the rod journals are, and then will correlate to what size the main journals are. So the rod journal is the small one, the one right there. Main journal is that one. So simple enough. And all right, time to put the behemoth on. But when you're setting this in, especially when you still have the studs in. Oh, wait, almost forgot something very important. Don't forget doing that. I almost forgot that you really need to put assembly lube on. I'm just using Lucas assembly lube. There's definitely probably better brands out there. I don't know, I don't put much research into it, but this should do for my scenario. Okay, see how it goes out. Oh, not much right there. It's weird. Okay. Oh, it's the it's a big drop. Okay, now I go. Over there. And other, that's the generous with it. Get over there. Sure, you could have the. Oh no! Don't look at the camera while doing it. Oh, yeah. There's gonna be assembly lube everywhere. All right, back to this crankshaft. Now that my hands are all messy, she's going on. Or sorry, he. It's on. Perfect. All right. Next step's gonna be the main caps. which go on like, yeah, like this, I think. I'll double check I took a picture of it before I took everything off, so I'll double check. Oh, but can't forget, put some assembly lube on there. A little bit of assembly lube there. Just any point of contact where the engine will spin, you need to put assembly lube. Tomei uses, I think it's called, it's like assembly wax or something, I don't know. It looks pretty nice, it's really expensive, so I didn't get it. It looks pretty good though. Gotta make sure it's all lubed up. Perfect. Alright, yeah, before I put everything on, let me check my camera roll, make sure I'm putting everything on. Okay, so just took a quick look at my camera roll. Seems like I'm doing everything right, assembly wise. So when you're assembling the SR, you got this little number for your main caps. Number 1 faces, if you're looking at, okay, this is really hard to explain. How's this? The motor's upside down, which hopefully when you're doing it, it's upside down. But it's faces the opposite way as that little notch is right there. The bell housing. Just like that. And that goes for all of them. They all face, all the numbers, which they each have, face the other way. Just like that. And one, we'll be done. Probably, I don't catch this picture, man. When you go on, I get green. I was like, probably, sort of dirt in it, where there's pretty much on there, but it needs a little bit. Okay, yeah, okay, and, okay. Oh, gosh, I don't check. Number 5, 4 sheets. Cool. Number 4, and number 5. So I got main cap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Definitely gotta wipe them all off. And so, yeah, next step is gonna be wiping them off. Actually, no, just getting a little distracted. It's probably just make sure they're all set down properly. Yeah, make sure they're all set down. As it really should just use like a rubber hammer or something, like a mallet or a rubber mallet. Next step is just gonna be wiping it all down. Actually, you know what? Brake clean never hurt nobody. Cool. And next up is the girdle. This is the girdle. It goes on just like this. It kind of ties together everything. It's like a reinforcement for everything. And the kangaroo. So the arrow points with the numbers counting up that way. And the kangaroo is on the opposite side of those numbers right there. Anybody know why the kangaroo is there? Let me know down in the comments. Oh no. I always like to say because the Aussies build these the best. At least from what I can tell. They're not heavily used. SRs aren't used a lot in America, mainly foreign countries like Japan or where the SRs from. Japan, Australia. Australians really are different, built different when it comes to RBs and SRs, I think. But yeah, let me know why, because Aussies that's what they're after. They start getting good at it. I don't know. But all better. And now you gotta put these. This is ARP, the main stud. Main studs. And these are the bolts. There is a specific torque pattern for these. According to HKS, I'm pretty sure it's 73.5 Newton meters. Alright, I went ahead and just did the first torque specification off camera. Getting to this one, this is the 73.5. That was not cool. There we go. Then this bolt. There we go. Then this one, same thing. There we go. This one. There we go. Getting tired. Right arm cranking on it. There we go. That one. Yeah, there we go. This one now. I'll show you up close. 4, 5 in a second here. There we go. Then 2 more. Alright. Now I'm just gonna see these ones. These 2 are good. Okay, cool. Good to go. I know technically you're not supposed to double check, but I felt like I torqued it down a lot and I felt like it would have moved a little bit. Taking a little tea break, then I'll show you guys up close the torquing sequence. If you don't know me, I love Arizonas. So here's a preview, I guess you could say, of the torque sequence that I used. So looking at it from the sound of Yeah, that. The crankshaft, there we go. Couldn't think about it. You start with this one, go here, here. So 1, 2. Oh, scratch what I just said. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not 9 there. 9's over here. 9, 10. That's roughly the pattern I went in. Maybe I went like this way, like just the opposite. 1, 2, 3, 4. But the point is, you go in a start pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's should be it. I'll probably show a photo right here of what the torque sequence actually is, according to. I'll probably show you Pros Plus Pro, which is like a big engine builder website. Anyways, next steps. Technically, actually, next step would be if you haven't assembled it already. This is your first time putting the crankshaft in. You just spin it. Just make sure that it's equal all the way around. There shouldn't be any resistance anywhere. Make sure it's not hitting, like right down there. It would be hitting, but as you can tell, or actually no, it wouldn't be hitting unless I had the con rod on. But it's not on, so we're good. All right, next step is pistons. Pistons in connecting, pistons, but connecting rods. Next step is connecting rods. I'll get these connecting rods ready to be assembled, and I'll get back to you guys. All right, we're on to our next step. Next step is installing the pistons themselves. This next step here, you're gonna need, sorry, walking off the camera. We'll need 2 tools here. Really, 2 tools in general. You could either have what I'm gonna be using, this cheap AutoZone piston compressor tool, whatever you want to call it. Or there's like these more expensive individual ones, and they're non-adjustable, but they're super nice from what I've heard. Never used one, but would love to use one in the future. Don't got them though. So first step's gonna be, I actually can't really show you guys that angle, I don't think, but you're gonna get this tool, handy dandy little compressor tool. Then you are going to get some lube. Almost forgot. Always be lubed. Always stay lubricated. So I get some lube, put it on your hand, and make sure it's all well lubricated, or else you could damage your piston. If I recall, make sure this is all lubricated, and then make sure the cylinder walls are also lubricated. Everything has to be lubricated. So when issues arise, there's no lubrication. So got that. Gonna use some more. I'm generous with the cylinder walls here. Maybe a little bit more of that. Perfect. So that is the walls. And I'm actually going to do that every single way up. Just while my hands are being well lubed for. So I'm going to be this is here. So just want to make sure all lubed up. So center 1, center 2 are lubed. So weird. All right, like let me try to get that. This is real sticky stuff. And center 4. Cool. All done there. I'll make sure to clean the deck surface when it gets to that point. But right now, a little bit of lube on the deck, the surface does not matter. Definitely not going to be using those gloves for the rest of the time. So, I'm going to put some new gloves on. Boom. Now, on to the step that I was mentioning. So, when you're installing a piston, I entirely forgot. It all flashed back to me. You're supposed to make sure that the gaps in the piston rings are not facing each other. They all should be about 25 degrees from each other. 25, I meant 90 degrees. None of them, main point is that none of these little, so like this is an oil ring gap there, and then compression ring gap is there, then the other one's there. None of them should be lined up. If so, you might have an issue. You might have low compression in the cylinder or something along those lines. So before I continue on, I'm going to go to my little sheet here and find which way it's supposed to face. So pushing down everywhere, make sure it's all good. Looks good to me. I'm going to go like this, pushing, just pressing the tool, tapping it in. Oh, and we got one done. 4 more to go, but one's done. And after you get that one done, this is kind of like a harder part to come by, I guess, or a hard part to do by yourself. But basically, try to get the camera angle here for you guys. So you're gonna, now that the piston's in, if you have your compression rod pins, your compression rings in, the piston shouldn't fall. But if it does, you might have issues. You're gonna push it down. By your hand, and you're gonna have your cap ready. Just now realized, really forgetful. Don't know how I forgot this. No, this might even be easier. Flip the motor. Don't drop the motor. And see, I forgot to put connecting rod bearing on. So, never check the specs. Not a big deal. Getting extra practice in, but I'll get back to you guys. Alright, we're back. Slight pause there. I had to get the bearings and figure out what bearings I'm going to use. I'm first going to try out all the grade B bearings, which is a STD2, ABC. So got it in. Next step is to make sure it's down there. I'm gonna turn the engine. I'm gonna have my hand over the piston in case it shouldn't spin, but it could. Then I'm going to push the piston up around the conrod bearing, or the conrod journal. Pushing it up there. Okay. There we go. And then after that, I'm gonna get the respective cap that came with the same connecting rod. I'm gonna put the bearing on same way as the mains. There's a little notch right there. Hard to see right there. I'll put that on. Lines up right there. Held in the same way. These are 2 bolts. These are a 11 millimeter 12 point, which I thought was weird. Why not do a 10 or a 12? Whatever. Not a big deal. There are 2 dowels on it. You gotta make sure those line up as you're putting them on. Other than that, next step is to walk right up over here and make sure the dowels are lined up. Cool. We good? Just put it on. Simple as that. I just realized 2 things I forgot. No, 1 thing I forgot. I'm delusional. It's late at night, man. Leave me alone. Probably shouldn't work on my motor this late. But I forgot I am using plastic gauge. So your plastic gauge is going to come in a container that looks like this. It's going to have a little piece of plastic gauge that looks like this, super thin. All you're going to do is cut off a little piece, just using a razor blade. That's a big piece. A little piece like that. Boom. Okay, these green gloves are not helping the situation out. Uh-oh, lost a piece. Oh, there it is. Fell right onto the razor blade. Okay, so now that I got that one piece of plastic gauge, I'm going to set it down. I'm going to take off my green gloves so I can see the green plastic gauge. I'm going to set it down on the main, or on the journal, the Conrad journal. There we go. Doesn't take much. I'll show you guys right here. So basically all I did was, not sure you can see it, but that little piece right, little green right there, place that there, and that's it. And once I torque down this with the proper torque specs, it will get smushed down basically and squeezed. I don't know the direct science and everything behind it, but it will correlate to a measurement. And yeah, hopefully that measurement is right. I have the minimum oil clearance specs on one of these papers. I think it's that one right there. You guys can't see it, but not a big deal. I'll get it. Next step is to tighten these down. I'm going to grab an extension because this is paint tightening down my hand. Gotta like reach your fingers into the board, or in past this little kangaroo girdle is what I call it, because the little kangaroo. Some people do run with billet girdles at the horsepower I'm going for, but I'm not going to run billet. I'm borderline. I'm borderline. Some people don't, some people do. From what I've heard. No, correct me if I'm wrong, but it is a high horsepower SR. I'm gonna try for like 500-ish. Alright, just about done. Tightening them by hand. So these torque specs are, once again, it's another two-piece torque specs. Two-piece, it's like two-step is the proper term. There we go. So I'm gonna have to tighten it down to 15 Newton meters. Then after I tighten to 15 Newton, I have to turn it 60 degrees. That's where the electric does actually come in handy. It does have a mode where it could do degrees. But I guess first, before I torque down, I'll get the other piston in to make it go in. So I'm torquing everything down at once. Okay. Got a new glove on. Got a little piston on. Sorry, the camera died. It's getting a little late at night, so I went ahead and did cinders. I torqued them fully down. I went ahead and did cinders 1 and 4, and I'll do 2 and 3 fully recorded, whatnot. So, in the 4-inch, set to, again, 6, 50. So that's what I was because this piece right here, should be fine up. 17, and I this one 17. So I'm going to go, I do 17 first. There we go. And then 17, and 17. Okay, next is now 1 down. So you get, now you set 2, angle fire, 60, and then you turn 60 degrees. You turn 60 degrees, so that's what you're basically. And, dang. Okay, perfect. And, up, right, side. Okay. 60 degrees. Cool, right, 2 more. Right, side, right. Good. Right. 4, 4, right side, right. Perfect, everything's torqued down. And always, whenever you're completed doing that, because now all the pistons and connecting rods and everything's installed on the rotating assembly, you really technically should turn it over, or not, and make sure there's a screw holding the engine from rotating. So I'm just using an old head stud. And then try to crank it. Dang, that's hard. But I'm pretty sure that I am using assembly lube. Yeah, there you go. It's getting worked in already. Oh, look at that though. Look at here. Dang, hard to do this one-handed. Gotta get it started, I guess. There you go. Looking good. No difference in resistance, if that makes sense. Everything seems to be a-okay. We'll leave it at that. We'll call it a night. It's currently, I think, like 1:20 a.m. I got work at 7 a.m. So I'll get back to it. And also, I'm pretty sure I did the plastic gauge wrong. I think I was not supposed to rotate it. Don't know, but took off the 2 caps and there was no plastic gauge there. So I'm pretty sure I was not supposed to rotate it. Don't know. I have never done it. This is my first time. Any tips, let me know in the comments. And I'll continue this video tomorrow after work. See ya.